I found 5 banks that only pull from Equifax for business credit cards. Finding banks that exclusively pull from Equifax is like searching for a needle in a haystack. Most banks constantly pull from Experian, leaving your credit report with a ton of hard inquiries. This avalanche of inquiries can be a nightmare when you're trying to secure more business funding. Lenders take one look at your credit report and see a mountain of inquiries, making you look desperate and super risky to them. It looks like you're begging for money, which tanks your approval chances. So I was researching and I stumbled across something incredible. I found the 3rd largest credit card company. They actually pull from Equifax. And there's 2 business credit cards that you can get fully approved for without a hard credit pull. There's no ding on your credit. It's almost too good to be true. The first one is Citibank. And when it comes to credit cards, Citi is often a favorite for a few of their personal cards like the custom cash card. I have that one. Actually, I have 2 of them. But on the business side, Citi is a bit more limited with only 2 small business credit cards available. That said, one of their options truly stands out for entrepreneurs who value rewards. That's the Costco Anywhere Visa business card. This card offers straightforward rewards tailored for common business expenses. You get 4% back on gas purchases up to $7,000 annually. Then it goes down to 1%. Then you get 3% back on restaurants and on Costco travel, as well as 2% back at Costco purchases and then 1% back elsewhere. However, there are a couple of downsides. Unlike many other business cards, the Costco Anywhere Visa doesn't offer a sign-up bonus or a low introductory APR. This makes it less appealing if you're looking for upfront incentives or need a card for interest-free financing. One thing Citi is known for is its consistent practice of pulling Equifax for both personal and business credit card applications. This can be a plus if your Equifax report is in great shape, but it's important to be prepared for a hard inquiry. However, data points suggest that there may occasionally be exceptions to the rule. And let's take a look at a couple of real-world examples. The first person said, I thought I'd give some data point about my recent approval for a business Costco card with Citibank. They pulled Equifax bank card score 8. My score was 767, and weirdly enough, no hard pull. When I applied, I had my credit frozen and was asked to unfreeze it. After, I was instantly approved and relocked my credit. 2 days later, after approval, I received an email that an inquiry was blocked from Citibank. But I've already been approved and have started to use my card. Must have been a delay on their end. My other stats are I have a business that's 6 years old. My revenue is about 1.8 million a year. My personal income is 185,000, and they approved me for a $10,000 credit line, which is our lowest of any business card. And my score was 767 at time of approval. This user's experience highlights how having your credit frozen can lead to interesting results. While they were asked to unfreeze their Equifax report to complete the process, it seems that Citi didn't finalize a hard inquiry. Now that's not typical, but it's worth noting. And then another user had a different experience. They said mine was different. I freeze Equifax and applied. Said not approved. Then 7 days later, a letter explained the Equifax was locked and they asked to unlock and call Citi to continue application. This really highlights an important takeaway. Don't assume Citi will approve a business card without a hard credit pull. While the first user situation appears to have been a fluke, most applications will likely result in a hard inquiry. That said, if your hard inquiry is sensitive, it's always a good idea to freeze your credit reports until you're ready to apply. This really ensures you don't get any surprises while shopping for credit or completing pre-approval applications. Now, the next business card is the GM business card. What's amazing about this card is how easy it's been for entrepreneurs to get approved without taking a hit to their credit score. Yes, you heard that right. There's no hard credit pull. It only requires a soft pull from your Equifax credit report. Now let's talk about the benefits. The GM Business Rewards card comes with 0% interest for 9 months, giving you some breathing room to manage your cash flow. But there's a catch. The rewards you earn are tied to GM purchases. So if you're in the market for a vehicle or parts or services from GM, this card could be a huge asset. If not, it might not be the best fit for your needs unless you're after that 0% interest period. That said, the credit limits being offered here are nothing short of eye-popping. Imagine being approved for a $40,000 limit and all without a hard pull. That's exactly what one business owner experienced. And here's their story. They said GM business card $39,000 approved. This is what happens when you're bored. Applied under main LLC, have another GM card under a separate smaller LLC, separate EIN. I called in and had the card expedited 2 to 3 day FedEx. They had to cancel the first card order. They did a soft pull on my personal Equifax, stated actual documented revenue of $12 million for just that LLC. I currently have 3 LLCs. I honestly think that I would have been granted a larger credit limit, but at the time had a good amount of new accounts, 1724 and probably 20 or so increase on my personal Equifax report. So at first glance, a $40,000 starting limit sounds incredible, right? But when you factor in that this business generates $12 million annually, it's really clear that banks typically base limits on 10 to 15% of your yearly revenue. So in this case, the limit is on the lower end. And I think one likely reason for that is the applicant had 17 hard inquiries in the last 24 months. When banks see a high volume of recent applications, they may flag you as a credit seeker, which can dampen your credit worthiness. Now, here's something that's fascinating to me. You can hold duplicates of the same GM Business Rewards card if you attach each one to a separate EIN or LLC. It's a strategic way to expand your credit portfolio and funding options, especially if you run multiple businesses. What's truly special about this card is how rare it is to find business credit cards that don't hard pull your credit. This makes the GM Business Rewards card a standout choice for anyone looking to build business credit while keeping their personal score intact. And let's take a look at a few more data points. One person said just approved for the GM Business card for $40,000. They did a soft pull, but can't determine which bureau. Scores were 688 on Equifax, 700 on TransUnion, and 704 on Experian. They did not hard pull after the acceptance. I'm thinking the strong sales helped me with the application because I have good business credit, but my max was $25,000 on my Floor and Decor account. Another person said, I figured I would update the world on my instant approval for the GM Business card. Starting limit is $9,000. Nothing like some of these other people, but I'm happy with it. I've been trying for the card for the last couple of years. I've been debating on buying a GM vehicle and wanted the $750 off. Ironically, it's the same limit as my Apple card, which Goldman Sachs credit limit increased after the first 6 months from $6,000. Another user said, I had initially gotten an offer when the card came out of $8,000 and didn't accept it as I figured in time the offer would get bigger. Well, that didn't happen, but it's okay. As others have stated, the process was soft pull and approval did take about a week. I applied and received a $4,000 offer, accepted the offer, then waited another week for them to process the application. They called me to verify me and then email me final approval. So across the board, these stories confirm one critical fact. The GM Business Rewards card uses a soft pull exclusively from your Equifax credit report. If you're a small business owner looking for a card that offers generous limits and won't ding your credit during the application process, this card is worth checking out. And by the way, if you want a full database of all the 0% interest business cards that pull from Equifax specifically, I got you covered there. My database comes with 694 banks that offer no interest for up to 18 months. You know which credit bureau each bank pulls from, the top banks in your state offering 0% interest funding. You'll see which banks let you open multiple credit products with one hard pull. So if you need money to advertise on social media or build out your storefront, hire more employees, upgrade computers and software, buy more inventory or even invest in real estate, then with this database, you'll know the right banks to partner with in your area. So just hit the link below to get instant access right now. Now moving on, the next bank is Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank is a regional bank, and if you're fortunate enough to live near one of their branches, you've got access to some decent business credit options. Now, one of my favorite picks from Citizens Bank is their Business Platinum credit card. It offers 0% interest for 12 months, which is perfect for managing cash flow or making strategic investments without the burden of interest piling up. That said, like many straightforward credit cards, it doesn't come with any flashy rewards programs. But sometimes simplicity works best, especially when you pair that with their reputation of offering high credit limits. And speaking of limits, let me share some inspiring success stories that show just how generous Citizens Bank can be. One customer was approved for a $25,000 line of credit through their Business Everyday Points credit card. And here's how their timeline played out. On Friday, they submitted their application. They submitted documentation through Citizens, which requested 3 months of bank statements. The person provided 6 months to give a clearer financial picture. Then Tuesday afternoon, just a few days later, they received their approval email, and they were over the moon about it. They even shared some key data points that are worth noting. For trade lines, they built their Net 30 accounts and monitored through NAV. Their DNB score was 80 with 6 trade lines reporting. Their Experian business score was 88 with 2 active trade lines reporting. And then their Equifax business score was 380, which is poor, likely due to only 1 trade line reporting there. Their personal credit scores were TransUnion 693, Experian 702, and Equifax 692. They had an individual utilization ranging from 0 to 67% on their personal cards and overall utilization of 42%. Now, what stands out here is that Citizens Bank didn't let a few imperfections hold them back. Even with their subpar business credit scores and utilization higher than recommended, they were willing to extend a generous credit line. This flexibility makes them a standout choice for small business owners who might not have a perfect credit profile yet. I also found another incredible story. Someone was approved for a whopping $40,500 limit. after closing their previous Everyday Points card to apply for the Business Platinum card. This was a soft pull on Equifax with no proof of income required. They had an excellent personal credit score of 800 plus and plenty of business credit, which likely helped seal the deal for them. But here's the kicker. Citizens Bank is all about relationships. If you already have accounts with them, they're more likely to extend credit without requiring documentation, making the process smoother and stress-free. And when you're starting with limits of $40,000+, you're setting your business up for serious success. For those just starting out, Citizens Bank requests at least 3 months of bank statements, which is manageable even for newer LLCs. Plus, their willingness to work with businesses with minimal credit history shows their commitment to supporting entrepreneurs. Tools like NAV can help you build up your business credit by reporting to multiple bureaus, and that's going to give you an edge before you apply. Now, here's a word of caution. Citizens Bank operates as a regional bank, meaning you'll need to live near a physical branch to open up accounts or work with their business bankers. But if you're in one of those states they serve, the rewards are well worth it. And they're located in Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. Now, the next bank is Truist Bank. Now, building a relationship with your bank can feel pretty tough. That's exactly what I'm doing with Truist as I make this video. I'm testing the waters, exploring their funding limits, and learning really firsthand what makes this bank tick. But I have some other information that I think you'll like so far. Truist offers 2 standout business credit card options, each catering to different needs. First is the Truist Business Cash Rewards Card. With this card, you're going to earn 2 to 3% cash back in select categories, plus it sweetens the deal with 0% APR for 9 months. Then there's a Truist Basic Business Card. While it skips out on rewards, this card shines with 0% interest for 12 months. So if you're more focused on leveraging interest-free funding, this could be the right choice for your business. Now, here's where Truist really sets itself apart, and that's going to be relationships. Now, after opening a business checking account with them, I noticed how invested they are in helping their customers succeed. The business relationship manager that I spoke to really didn't hold back. He openly shared that Truist pulls from Equifax for credit card applications. It's the kind of transparency that you don't always get to see in banking. And here's one of the other customers' data points. They said, I did it. Pulled the trigger on the Truist business card. Pulled a personal Equifax and $10,000 starting limit. And here's something else you're going to love. Establishing a business checking account with Truist can lead to instant pre-approvals for their business credit cards too. Imagine walking into a branch, opening an account, and then walking out with a solid credit line for your business. That's exactly what some users have reported. For instance, one person shared how opening a business checking account led to immediate pre-approval for a card. Another customer relocated to Florida and decided to open both personal and business accounts with Truist. Their banker, who was also the branch manager, facilitated the credit card application process, and then they got instantly approved for a $10,000 starting limit. Here's what they said. They said, I relocated to the west coast of Florida last year and wanted a local banker to deal with. Citibank and US Bank, who I have been with for years, have no branches here. So I opened up both a personal and business checking account with Truist. As I was in the process, I was told I was pre-approved for a credit card. At the time, I had more credit cards than I needed. Fast forward 6 months, and I decided to apply for a business card. I met with my banker, who happened to be the branch manager, and applied. Instant approval with no starting limit. I received the card a week later with a starting limit of $10,000. It seems they are a relationship bank. And if you're curious about whether Truist operates in your area, here's a quick rundown. They have branches in Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and DC. And next up is NIH Credit Union. Now, when you think of credit unions, you might picture a small local institution with limited options. But NIH is anything but typical. They were founded to serve the healthcare industry and still hold deep ties to healthcare professionals, offering products and services tailored to their needs. But here's where it gets interesting. NIH has grown beyond its origins and opened the doors to business owners across the nation, no matter what industry they're in. This credit union is centered in the DC area, but they're willing to give credit to anybody nationwide. Whether you're running a trucking business, a consulting firm, or a family-owned shop, NIH Credit Union has options for you. And one thing I really like is that you don't even need to be a member to apply for their business credit cards. That's a big deal because it means less hassle and quicker access. But if you do choose to become a member, you're not geographically bound. Thanks to their partnership with the American Consumer Council, which is a nonprofit, anyone across the US can join and then enjoy the benefits of membership. And here's a pro tip. You can actually join the American Consumer Council completely for free if you use the code SERVICE. And when it comes to credit cards, it's rare to find one that offers value without the dreaded hard credit pull. That's why the Visa Business Rewards credit card from NIH is such a hidden gem. But what really sets them apart is that you can apply and get approved without a hard credit pull. That's right, NIH only does a soft pull on your Equifax credit report, meaning you can explore their offerings without risking a hit to your personal score. It's really a rare opportunity, especially for entrepreneurs who are credit conscious or just starting to build their business credit profile. And the NIH also has working capital lines of credit. They have loan amounts ranging from $100,000 all the way up to $350,000. These lines of credit are designed to help you bridge the gap when cash flow is tight or growth opportunities come up. Whether you need to fund a large inventory order, upgrade your equipment, or simply ensure employees get paid on time, you can do it with this line of credit. And they have another unique aspect. Unlike many small credit unions that outsource their underwriting to larger networks like Elon, NIH, on the other hand, will self-underwrite their business cards. Now, you might ask yourself, why does that matter? Well, it means a lot because they're not constrained by the limits of a large network. That's going to give you the opportunity to secure more credit, even if you already have accounts with other banks or credit unions that use Elon as an underwriter. And speaking of real world experiences, here's a great data point from NIH. They said, got NIH Federal Credit Union soft pull Visa Business Rewards? Yes. The oddest thing is that this credit union is backlogged by a whole week in getting to your app. They say they used to get 5 to 6 apps a week, but now get 5 to 6 apps a day. And why is that? It's because they're soft pull. And I got to tell you, I don't understand why all financial institutions aren't soft pull already, at least for pre-approvals. They really should be able to see everything they need to know with just a simple soft pull. Now, unfortunately for us, most banks and credit unions just don't work like that yet. But I do have a solution for that. If you're ready to quickly find out what cards you're pre-approved for, then you got to check out this playlist of 36 cards you can get pre-approved for without a hard credit pull whatsoever. Thank you for watching.